Hi, this is John Kelly. I wanted to talk to you today about how an MRI can affect your settlement in a personal injury claim and whether it's worth getting an MRI if your doctor recommends one. Generally, to this question, the answer is going to be yes, it is highly recommended. If your doctor is telling you that it's possible that you have an injury that could be something that would benefit from seeing more detailed images from an MRI, you want to go ahead and get that done right away on your case. Now, MRIs differ a little bit from X-rays. X-rays are good for diagnosing things like fractures, dislocations, and they're a little bit lower cost. But the benefit of an MRI is that you actually can see some of the soft tissues. And with personal injury claims, that's actually very relevant. Oftentimes with injuries that involve things like auto accidents, you have bulging discs from in the back. You may have, other injuries that don't always show a broken bone, but may show kind of soft tissue injuries and that kind of thing, which an MRI can be useful for. So I want to talk about how MRIs help your case and how they can add value. So I have about 5 things that they can help with your case, and then about 5 things that they can add value. So what I mean by help is that they can kind of push your claim along and make sure that you're getting the right things that you need so that you can later add the value. But the first thing is MRI is going to be hard proof of your injury. So what I mean by that is when we're trying to explain an injury to an insurance adjuster or another attorney, if we have hard proof of that, meaning actual injury images, we are in much better position to actually make that claim for you. If we have just a doctor saying it seems like there may be some bulging discs and it's just a narrative that they're writing down in their reports, no images attached, that isn't necessarily hard proof to these adjusters. They like to see it for themselves. And that kind of dovetails into the second thing, that images tell a better story than words. So you actually have an image of something. If I can send a photograph of an injury, if someone breaks their nose in an accident and I can show a picture of them with bandages on their face to an adjuster, that's always helpful. So same applies with things inside your body that are going wrong, that have injuries. If we can show a bulging disc, a close-up of the actual disc and the tissue bulging out, that's much more compelling to adjusters. It tells a lot more than just trying to have a diagnostic code that they're reading. It's also, number 3, it's a medically accepted diagnosis, meaning these doctors, this isn't pseudoscience or anything like that. We have actual MDs that are using the science of MRI. It's generally accepted in the legal community and medical community, so it's something that you don't have to worry about, that the adjusters are going to know that they have to add value to your claim based on it. The 4th thing that I have is that bills and records will allow further treatment and the possibility of even things like surgery. So if you get these records early and you can see what your injuries are, it's very apparent what needs to happen then down the line. So the doctors, you can send these images to different orthopedic doctors, to possible surgeons, and they can look at it, 3D images, and say, look, this is what I think you need to do to treat moving forward. And getting the treatment that you need to get better is part of adding value to your claim, because if you just sit on something, you don't have the images, you're just sitting in pain, you're not getting treatment, you're not adding value to your claim. So you want to make sure that you're getting the right diagnosis, which would be the MRI, that would then later justify further treatment. And then finally, 5, you're not guessing as to what happened. And that can, believe it or not, happen with a lot of claims. People, go to a doctor, they have some scans done, maybe not in the right areas of their body, or they're just told that it looks like it's a whiplash situation, that they can do some physical therapy. Later on down the line, they see complications and they end up getting an MRI and realizing that there was more to it. There's more to the story there. So those are the ways that it can help your claim move forward. Adding value Number one, insurance adjusters are always willing to give value to hard proof of injury. So we already kind of told you that an actual image of the injury is going to be hard proof, and adjusters actually will add value to your claim. They'll give you more money for a number of different reasons if they can actually see something on a scan. Two, the bill from the MRI is reimbursable. So that's actually something you don't have to worry about, okay, am I adding too many costs to my claim? The reality is that that's you know, going to be a reimbursable amount, and you can only add value from getting that. You know, sometimes you have to spend a little money to get value to your claim. So that's definitely something that's one that would later get reimbursed, plus it can add a lot of value to your claim. Number three, if we look at past x-rays and CAT scans and MRIs, and now you have a new MRI for your new accident, it's very valuable for us to go back and show, look, here's what the back looked like before, or the arm. Now we have a new MRI that shows that there's some damage that's completely new. It wasn't a pre-existing injury. It wasn't something that was there before on the scans, and that can be very compelling. Number four, a 3D imaging. The 3D imaging that MRIs have is very valuable to your claim in a number of ways, but it also can get you the treatment you need to heal. If these doctors that you're sending this image to can look at it in 3D, they're going to be much more likely to get you on a recovery plan that is beneficial to you, that takes into account your injury, that is not missing anything. So there's no doubt about where the injury is, what the treatment protocol will be moving forward to make sure that you're getting healed. So that's a great benefit to your case. Number five, we have already talked about this with x-rays. There's some kind of harmful radiation. You don't have that with MRIs. It uses magnetics. It's actually a very quick process. I mean, it can take 30 minutes, but for you to go in, usually there's imaging facilities that are separate from your doctor's office that you'll be sent off to. They do a very good job of getting you in scheduled at the right time. It's not harmful to your body, so it's a good way to go for your injury claim. And then finally, pain and suffering will be implied by certain results. And what I mean by that is that if you have an MRI done and you can see very clearly that there's soft tissue injuries or maybe broken bones that are getting pinched nerves, that kind of thing, if we can see that, the second part of your claim is pain and suffering. And some of that pain and suffering is going to be implied by these images. You know, no one's going to argue that if you have severely bulging disc in your back, that there would be no pain and suffering associated with that. So it's a good thing to get all these value-added accomplishments with one thing in an MRI. So I would highly recommend it if your doctor does want you to get an MRI, to get that scheduled right away. Personal injury attorneys appreciate that. If you have questions about that, my name is John Kelly. I work at the Kelly Law Team. You can reach my office with any questions about this at 602-283-4122. Thanks.